Hi, Sunny. So I know um, course planning is due very, very soon. I think actually like mid-February for a lot of the schools and districts, especially those like under the East and South Bay. So we're here to help. So in this, I'm going to cover, I'd say some key tips and tricks, what to look out for. So let's get started. So quick thing in terms of context. Um, as we think about rigor and various themes going from ninth through 12th grade, as I move my head around, Um, so ninth and 12th grade, so this is rigor and this is academic things. So ninth grade is all about exploring. Now, of course, when you're in ninth grade, you're not going to have a whole lot of courses to explore. You may not really have any AP courses to choose either because those kind of kick in 10th grade, but it depends on your school, but that's what we typically see. You can use non-district courses, and I'll go into like what those are later in the presentation, but effectively they're taking courses through like UC Scout, Fusion, Tilden. And what these courses are is they are an opportunity for you to advance in a certain pathway, take a course that is otherwise offered at high school that may be, you know, that may work better for you in terms of time. Oftentimes, a lot of students take non-district courses because they don't want to take the course in person. That's totally fine. They're also taken for remediation, right? So if you get like a D or lower. Okay, so and then 10th grade is so now you'll start to get a couple of you'll get more like AP and honor courses that um, you can choose from. For APs, typically we see like AP World, AP Euro, depending on the math pathway that you're on. You might also see Calc AB um, or like honors pre-calc. So now is the time I think to experiment with different AP and honors courses as you start to kind of build your rigor. Quick note: you don't have to take AP or honors courses, right? That is entirely your call. We'll go into how to make that call later, but it's really a judgment call. We want to make sure that you prioritize your mental health over anything and everything else. Okay, so now as we go to 11th grade, you're going to start to see a lot more flexibility in AP and honors courses, and now the rigor really picks up. So here, I mean, we have students who take as many as like 4 to 6 AP courses. I'm not suggesting that for everyone. That is primarily a student by student discussion, and we actually don't actively suggest it, but rather the student comes to us and says, I want to take these many AP courses. We're like, okay, why? And sometimes they have like a very logical argument. Um, other students may choose to not take any AP courses at all. Additionally, in 11th and 12th grade, you'll start to get access to what's called dual enrollment typically. So dual enrollment is a class that is offered at the high school and offered at a local community college. So, for example, San Ramon Valley has a partnership with Diablo Valley College, where for a specific number of courses, they can take that at DVC and get high school credit. That is different from concurrent enrollment, which any grade in high school can take, where you actually may not get high school credit, but instead you'll get a transcript from the community college that says, hey, so and so took this course at community college. 12th grade, I think the biggest theme to kind of drive home is don't slack off. Keep rigor up. Okay, let's keep going. All right, math pathways. So I want to say pretty much every school has outlined their math pathway, and they're almost pretty similar. And so what you actually have here is San Ramon and Doherty Valley's math pathways. We're going to choose Doherty Valley because we just did a presentation actually for their entire PTSA. I think we had 200 parents show up. So we have this already. So let me just take a look at the next slide. So these are the pathways. So you'll see, so in the green, this is like the typical pathway. And then the blue, this is the more advanced pathway. So let's start actually with a typical pathway. 6th through 8th grade, you're kind of doing, I'd say, like the baseline math courses, right? And then 9th grade, you take Algebra 1, 10th grade geometry, and then you finish off with Calc A, B, C, Calc A, B, or BC, or you can finish off with stats. Now we have a lot of students who actually choose this path because they're more language inclined. They don't want to advance in math. Totally fine. If we go to the more advanced pathway, or like the second most advanced, but you can see actually here in uh, 8th grade they take Algebra 1, and they take geometry over 9th grade. And they finish off with Honors Calc AB or BC, Typically, we see students kind of take AB before BC, but sometimes students choose to do BC instead of AB because there is some level of overlap between the courses. Now, the most advanced pathway is students actually take Algebra 1 in 7th grade. They can also choose to take Algebra 1 in 8th grade via a non-district course, and then they can choose to do geometry over the summer before 9th grade because geometry isn't as foundational as Algebra 1. So we kind of suggest that through like a non-district offering like UC Scout, Fusion, Tilden. And then they enter 9th grade with Algebra 2, Accelerated Algebra. This also might be called A2BC. And then they kind of keep going on this path, and by 11th grade, they'll finish, AP or Honors Calc BC, which they could also finish in 10th grade. And then 12th grade, they're taking things like multivariate calculus at a local community college. So you can kind of see like how the pathways advance between one grade to the other. Entirely your decision as to what pathways you'd like to choose, but at least now you know kind of where to find the pathways and how to plan. Okay. Additionally, your school may offer pathways like science. They will most likely offer like a language pathway, especially in English. And so Doherty does a really good job at outlining all this stuff. So if you can see here, so Doherty, here's their science course pathway. Here is their English course pathway. Here is their social science course pathway. Oh, it's here somewhere. Or here's their word language course pathway. So you can see for each one of them, it tells you like which courses are offered for which grades and how the course is kind of cadenced from um, more of the junior courses to like more of the advanced courses as a student goes from 9th grade to 12th grade. So that is a really, really useful tool because what it effectively does is it kind of outlines the courses you may want to take from 9th to 12th grade based on the interest of your student. Okay. Now let's actually take a look at non-district courses. So leverage them, but not for every course because there's limited time during the school year, and also avoid foundational classes like algebra over the summer. So we actually have students taking algebra over the school year concurrently, which is totally fine as long as they've got time for it. So if you look at SRV, the district, they actually outline some policies. So one, do it to advance, right? We covered that. Do it for personal interest. We have students taking like physics C, electromagnetism because they just want to, which is really cool. You can also do it to fulfill a graduation requirement. And we have a lot of students kind of doing this, and they prefer doing it online versus in person because of that personal preference, not because it's easier. And then also remediation. And now it's actually nice. Now the districts by districts will vary in terms of their receptivity to non-district courses. So for example, SRV is a lot more open to non-district courses than Akalani's Unified High School District. It's true. And Akalani's doesn't have any intention of changing that, which is fine. So I would say like just be aware of that. And you can actually see in here, they outline specifically how many courses you can take. So students are able to put 40 credits of non-SRV coursework in their high school transcript, but are limited to 20 credits per academic year. A lot of high schools may not have, I'd say, guidance that is well articulated like this. So just check with your school counselor first. AP courses, big, big discussion. I'm going to put my face right above this guy's face. So these are rigorous courses, but be careful about taking too many. So what are they? Typically a year long. Some courses may be like a semester long. That's more the exception than the norm. Um, and that also end with AP exams in May. Note, your AP exam score does not impact your grade during the school year. They're actually two separate scores that you get. Why and when to take it depends on the student. If your student feels comfortable with the additional workload and they've identified like a course and or subject that they really like, totally okay to push them and challenge them, right? Provided, of course, that it does not impact their mental health. So really it depends on the student's interest and aptitude in a subject. Like what we don't want is students to take like a bunch of APs and all of a sudden they're not sleeping. Because again, if you don't sleep, you're not going to learn, right? And also high school, you got to have some fun. So it's a great way to show colleges that you're challenging yourself. And I think just more importantly, you're actually challenging yourself. Now, the balance you have to play actually is we spoke to UC Berkeley's admissions team and they said, look, if we've got a student who has just taken 15, like 20 AP courses, we're going to ask ourselves, like, what else are the student doing, right? How can we envision them as a member of our community? So there's a fine balance between taking too many and taking just enough. And that's where we can help. Cool. Dual enrollment, College Connect. So College Connect is actually the specific program that's mentioned between Doherty and DVC. Um, Good chance actually that your high school district already has this in place. So just look it up. If you look up like dual enrollment, DVC, or like community college and your district name, you should get something to pop up. So if you take a look here, so this is actually like the overview that Doherty provides its students. So here they kind of do like an overview. So what effectively it is the dual partnership between DVC and the district, could be another community college, where these students have a 2-year commitment. And what they are doing is they're effectively taking specific courses that are offered both at the high school and at the community college, where they would receive credit at both the high school and the community college for that specific course. Now, given that they're taking this at DVC or another community college, their grades would actually be out of 5 versus 4. So these are weighted classes. Um, so this is a fantastic option. It's not available for everyone. I think for a lot of these, like you have to apply, right, to be able to have the opportunity to do this. So check with your counselor and just make sure you do the research first. Cool. And then how to take it, there's typically an application process. You got to apply. Not everyone gets in. Okay, that is different from, as I struggle with moving forward, concurrent enrollment. So concurrent enrollment, any high school student can take this. And this is available through a number of different community colleges. Like BYU is a great option too. And the difference here is these courses may contribute towards high school credit. Most often than not, they may not. And a lot of these courses you're really taking because you're just intellectually curious. And so these courses, the grades of these courses typically won't really be added on to your high school transcript, unlike dual enrollment. So when you apply to college, this community college will actually send to the college that you're applying to a separate transcript. And it's primarily up to that particular college as to how they want to incorporate it in their calculations. Now, with community college courses, even if they're concurrent enrollment, for the CSUs and the UCs, they may actually qualify for college credit. So just check out like Assist. That's the website where you can check this out. They also may fulfill what are called EGATC requirements, which are like the baseline requirements you need to graduate from a UC or a CSU. Okay, so this is a great way to explore options of courses that aren't actually offered at your high school. So an example, we have a lot of students who are interested in sports psychology or kinesiology. So typically we say like, hey, take the class over the summer. During the school year might be a little bit difficult, especially if the course is offered in person. You're kind of shuttling back and forth. But the way that you find the catalog is you just take a look at the community college, you type in summer courses, and so lo and behold, here's DVCs. Let's go to summer 2025, browse all classes. Let's select both locations, term, 2025 summer. Let's just do fully online. Let's see, I talked about kinesiology. Let's pick kinesiology. Boom. Now, look at that. Introduction to kinesiology. Now, your high school may not actually offer this, so this is a fantastic option to take, right? The key thing is you're exploring and you're trying new things and you're kind of learning as to whether a subject is really of interest to you or not. So I think that's everything. We covered non-district courses, we covered pathways, we covered concurrent enrollment, we covered dual enrollment. I think the most important thing is listen to yourself, listen to your student. If there are specific courses and or subjects that you enjoy, great, go deeper, right? Rigor should increase over time. You don't have to take AP or honors courses. And lastly, prioritize your mental health above all. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks.